Oscar Piastri is living one of the most intense and impressive chapters in modern Formula One. And if you haven't noticed it yet, you might be missing the birth of a world champion in real time. In 2025, the young Australian went from being just a promising prospect to becoming the name disrupting the championship, going toe-to-toe with the likes of Norris, Charles Leclerc, and even the unbeatable Max Verstappen. And the best part, Piastri isn't just winning races, he's changing the dynamics of the game. In this video, we'll show you exactly what Oscar Piastri needs to do to become the 2025 Formula One champion. So stay until the end because every detail matters. Like and subscribe to the channel. In the 2025 Formula One World Championship, Oscar Piastri is the leader of the season with an advantage of 266 points against Lando Norris's 250. They are 6 victories in just 13 races, McLaren's absolute dominance, and an advantage that grows race by race. It all started with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah, where Piastri took his 3rd victory of the season and took the championship lead for the first time in his career. He became the first Australian to lead the World Championship since Mark Webber in 2010. The peak of this initial momentum came at the Bahrain GP in Sakir, where Piastri took pole position, fastest lap, and victory, a perfect hat trick. He overtook Norris in the standings and took the lead with full confidence. After the race, McLaren had 151 points to Mercedes' 93, and Piastri was just 3 points behind Norris in the individual standings. Moving on to Europe, at the Spanish GP, Piastri won again, increasing his lead to 10 points over Norris, consolidating with 5 wins in 9 races, and showing an unusual consistency. At the Austrian GP, Norris won, cutting the gap to 15 points. But even so, the balance within the team remained evident, both moving at the pace of champions. By mid-season, he was leading with 5 wins to Norris' 3, in addition to being the only driver to score in all races so far. Even after a controversial penalty at the British Grand Prix for braking irregularly behind the safety car, which cost him the victory and reduced his lead to just 8 points, Piastri used the lessons learned to stay focused and determined not to repeat the same mistakes. The icing on the cake came at the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. Piastri took his 6th victory of the season in a dramatic rain-soaked setting, reclaimed the lead early on, and opened up a 16-point lead over Norris, with Verstappen parked in 3rd at an impressive 81 points behind. Coach Andrea Stella summed up the duo's mindset well. They're racing like champions, and the difference will be made by the precision and quality of their execution. The MCL39, the first car developed entirely by McLaren's new technical team led by Rob Marshall, Peter Prodromou, Neil Holdy, and Mark Temple, has arrived to dominate the 2025 season. This car has already achieved victories since its debut at the Australian GP and has become the center of attention on the grid. That McLaren has adopted an aggressive technical philosophy of continuous evolution. According to director Andrea Stella, "We have raised the bar in many areas, especially in the fundamental layout of the car, to give more scope for aerodynamic development." Since pre-season testing in Bahrain, it was clear that the MCL39 had unusual pace. In race simulations, Piastri and Norris demonstrated an advantage over rivals like Mercedes and Red Bull, even using harder compounds. The MCL39's main advantage lies in the refined integration of aerodynamics and suspension. The pull rod front suspension, for example, allows for greater stability and tire temperature control, keeping them within the ideal window for longer, especially in slippery track conditions and intense heat, as we saw at the Bahrain GP. This long-stroke suspension also facilitates greater aerodynamic load without sacrificing drivability, an essential attribute on high-degradation circuits. The car features an advanced thermal management system, with repositioned radiators and intercoolers to improve airflow and cooling, ensuring greater performance for longer. This has reduced technical failures and increased consistency of results, reflected in the victories and podiums accumulated so far. Even facing less wind tunnel time due to the limitation imposed on previous champions, 2024, by the regulations, McLaren overcame this with greater aero efficiency and focus on mechanical details, and comfortably maintained its lead in the Constructors' Championship. The MCL39 proved dominant in adverse conditions, excelling on circuits where mechanical grip is crucial. Sakir, Spa in the rain, and high degradation races benefited its technical package like Spa-Francorchamps. For example, even in extreme weather conditions, Piastri managed to win with a historic debut of dominance on a wet track. Clear proof of the car's efficiency even under pressure. On the other hand, on tracks with low degradation, such as the Japanese GP, the car didn't show as much of an advantage, confirming that its performance ceiling is best exploited in higher temperatures or low-grip conditions. This impeccable performance of the MCL-39 sustains Piastri's championship lead and reinforces the idea that he relies not only on talent, but also on a machine capable of handling the competition. In the heat of the 2025 season, the clash between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, it's been more than just a race for wins. It's a subtle battle to determine who will be McLaren's true leader on the grid. The season has already shown that they form a champion duo, and the difference between them has been measured in minute detail. After the Belgian GP, Piastri leads Norris by 16 points, reinforcing that this title can be decided by pure precision and execution. Before I continue, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that the YouTube algorithm recommends this video, and let's go. From the start of the season, McLaren adopted a clear approach, allowing both drivers to race freely, but within well-defined limits. Team principal Andrea Stella emphasized that the respectful relationship inside and outside the car helped manage internal conflicts and was revised after the delicate situations in 2024. Norris reinforced this stance. We are free to compete with each other. We know we will compete many times this season. With Piastri's lead fluctuating from 22 points midway through the season to just 8 points before Spa, tension mounted. Piastri's penalty at Silverstone for braking irregularly behind the safety car resulted in Norris's victory and put the Australian under pressure. But far from being shaken, Piastri used this situation as fuel to stay focused and respond with strategy and calm in Belgium. Experts are already commenting that while Piastri maintains impeccable composure, being nicknamed Ice Boy for his calm under pressure, Norris has shown instability at crucial moments, which could cost victories and decisive points. The rivalry also grew over technical differences. Norris adopted a mid-season suspension upgrade that improved his connection to the car, but ultimately diminished the consistency Piastri maintained with the original setup. Meanwhile, Piastri benefited from the original suspension and its ability to manage tires and race pace, establishing itself as the internal benchmark. This duality created a McLaren with two distinct setups, which can provide greater flexibility, but also requires careful management by the team. Despite the harmony McLaren touted, there were times when the competition went too far. At the Canadian GP, a maneuver by Norris on Piastri resulted in a massive collision that took the Brit out of the race and ultimately extended the Australians' championship lead. The previous year's Baku GP, the so-called papaya rules, unofficial rules to prevent internal accidents, were revised after a discussion about Piastri overtaking Norris at the start. Although Andrea Stella stated that they want to continue racing with freedom and mutual respect, Zak Brown acknowledged that certain strategic decisions may be made as the race evolves, but always with a focus on maintaining team harmony and results. Critics like Ralf Schumacher and Juan Pablo Montoya point out that, amid such a fierce competition, McLaren may be forced to prioritize a driver if internal collaborations become costly, and Piastri's consistency, combined with his emotional control, has been seen as a differentiator to become the team's main name. But Norris isn't intimidated. He declared that real adversaries are good motivators. "The more of a threat Oscar is, the better for me," the Brit said in an interview. While Oscar Piastri comfortably leads the McLaren duo, outside rivals could still cause significant damage to their title run. Max Verstappen, although Red Bull's streak has diminished, it still maintains the ability to turn things around, especially in key races. After the Belgian GP, Verstappen occupies third place with 185 points, 81 points behind Piastri, which adds up to 266, while Norris has 250. Red Bull, now under new leadership with Laurent Mekies, is still trying to find consistency and pace to challenge McLaren. The change in leadership following Horner's dismissal has raised uncertainty about the team's strategy and technical development. Despite a triumph in the Spa sprint, Verstappen could only finish fourth in the GP and saw his gap to Piastri grow even further. Christian Horner has publicly acknowledged that the season has become a race between McLaren's drivers, with Verstappen falling behind and Red Bull lacking the pace to react with full force. This scenario keeps the spotlight on McLaren and preserves minimal hope for a dramatic comeback from Verstappen, but not impossible. But tell me, what did you think of this video? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing.